We love introducing you to wonderful locals here in the community, people who do great things and experience great things. Well, Gretchen always brings those wonderful people in, so let's introduce you to Gretchen's great guest.
Welcome back to the show. Now we have the woman that we love more than life itself, Ashley Carter with the Snowsports Museum. I had to say that. I always give you an in because you're such an awesome human. We love you. We love what you do. And I feel like, you know, at this point, you just embody Vail, really. You help, you know all the little tricks of the trade of Vail. You know all the history. You're awesome. Snowsports Museum, how are you doing, Ashley?
I'm doing great.
I had to do
Honestly,
it. Every time I try to amp myself up a little bit more.
Yep, you ask me how I'm doing every time. How can I not be good?
I love, right?
When you say that.
Yes, and you love what you do for work, and you're so good at it, and it's just so cool. It's so neat to see someone living their truth. So
well, and it's fun, and we're in the season now, so it's exciting stuff,
Yes.
right? You gotta. I was skiing this morning before work.
Oh, I love it.
We can do that.
I know. People are always so shocked about that here in Vail, and I'm like, oh, yes, we do go, and we ski and snowboard before work and at lunch or after, and people are like, oh, that's a thing. I'm like, why do you think half the community lives here?
When I look at the Snowsports Museum,
yes.
Shouldn't I be out there?
You should be out there living your truth on the mountain. So I know that we have so many cool things happening, per usual, as always. Every day you can go into the Snowsports Museum and find something awesome. But what is happening that you were kind of telling me about that's a little different this year?
Yeah, so we usually kick off around this time our Through the Lens series.
Okay.
It's like an educational series, so it's looking through the lens, right,
Yeah.
a little deeper. This season of it goes to like into March, and it's a really exciting season of a lot of documentaries, a really big span of the snow sports world.
I love that.
And we kick off this Wednesday, the 15th, with showing the documentary, The White Ribbon of Livin'.
Love that. The White Ribbon of Livin'. It is so, it rolls
Trailer
off the
Tom
tongue.
and Nate Dogg, you know?
And we recently had, we love Trailer Tom and Nate Dogg. Love them, so
it's super fun. I mean, it's about their passion of trying to get the first chair at as many resorts as possible for opening day. And like, that's fun because we know the phrase "the white ribbon of death," right?
Yes, very, very
and
true.
It is the white ribbon of living for them.
Well, and it was so cute because I didn't realize I'm actually in one of the scenes from because I love that. You know, that was my jam for many a year is being in the never first chair, but second chair behind them hanging out. But they're such special men and they just live their passion. It's so cool. So that's really rad that you guys are bringing that. That's pretty special.
It's super fun. I think that we'll have them there to answer questions and all the fun stuff.
Cool.
Like, the questions people want to ask, right?
Yes.
Of like, well, how do you get there, and where do you sleep, and what do you do?
How did you even think about doing this, right? Exactly. No, that's so cool. Okay, and so that start kicking off Wednesday, and then you said it will be like every couple weeks. You're gonna have,
so they generally happen on Wednesday nights most of the time. We have a few kind of random Fridays and Saturdays happening this season, coinciding with Legacy Weekend for the 10th Mountain, and then like doing the Ravinos documentary as well, which is super cool. All the information's on our website, though. If you go to snowsportsmuseum.org under events, it's got the whole Through the Lens series with the dates, with a description of each thing.
Okay.
You can buy tickets online. It is a ticketed event, and what that does is covers all the costs of putting that on, right? Bringing in the speakers, bringing in the movies. And we have appetizers and drinks, too, though. So that's included in the price.
Well, and that's something I don't think people always think about, but it's such a cool space. I mean, just being there is such a cool vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, I think we've talked about this before, but I think one of the first times I was in there was Burton, US Open back in the day, and I was like, this is amazing, and there's so much to learn, but like it's just a cool space. Too.
It is. That's why we rent it out for private rentals all the time.
So cool. I love that. And we should mention too the membership piece, right?
Yeah. So for the tickets, it's $20 for members, $25 for non-members. Cool. And we still have that thing running of pay your age membership.
Awesome.
Because normally it's $75 for an annual membership at the lowest level.
Okay.
So to match that, we're saying if you're under 50, pay your age, and if you start in on that, it only increases by $1 a year from there on.
I love that.
Yeah, and that's just a way to support us, right? We are a free admission museum, so we are supported by donors, by members, and then it gets you better pricing at certain events and things like that. And know that you're supporting a place that celebrates the first chair and all the things.
I know.
And, you know.
Well, the first chair and the Ravinos, you know, that's a big part. I've spoken about them for a year. Yes, and it's such a cool legacy of people.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. And I love, too, I have to say, because you guys, we always say this, some people don't know where you are, and they just like hear about it, and they're like,
true.
you know what I'm saying? And they're like, this is such a cool spot, and it gives so much background information, and it's really, I mean, it's a very special space.
What's cool about it too is we're located in Vail, so a lot of people just walk by, they think we're a Vail museum.
100%, yes.
We are located in Vail. We have Vail specific history, but we are the Colorado Snowsports Museum.
Yes.
So we represent the state in that. We have an interactive table that you can look up all the resorts in Colorado, including ones that don't exist anymore, and learn all about them. We have a Hall of Fame with over 250 members in it. That documentary on the 10th, the fashion, we've got all sorts of stuff.
It's so cool. It's, you literally can get lost in it. We talk about this all the time, and the shopping too.
We have a wonderful gift shop.
I love that.
And we are a nonprofit. The gift shop just keeps the museum going, so it keeps us a free admission museum.
And I love that you say that too, because it's so important for people to realize it is such a neat spot, and it is very special, and you know, such a huge part of us here and Colorado, like you were saying. But to keep it going, there does need to be funding. So
there does need to be funding, and honestly too, you could look at it and be like, snow sports, why do we need to support that? But it's easy to get lost these days, right, in the corporations of it all and all those things. But we want to keep sharing all the stories that inspire people to seek that adventure and bring it back to those roots, right?
I love that.
And we're not going to be able to do that if we're not there.
Well, I remember also too, like I first learned about Burton, you know, about all things Jake Burton from the museum before I even met him. And that was so interesting to me.
Because of course he's a Hall of Fame member.
Yes. But like, that's so neat, you know, that you guys have really brought back these pieces of like the OGs of snowboarding skiing. The first skis I ever saw with the 10th Mountain. I think it was, it's really
So we've got the 10th Mountain skis, that exhibit, and then we have an exhibit called Skiing Through Time, and it shows you skis, boots, and bindings. And what progressed like majorly,
seen that yet.
Right? Like there's definitely not every single boot, every single ski, but it's like what was a major change.
Cool.
So it goes from the leather boots that were people's everyday boots that they were skiing in up to today's, you know, most advanced stuff.
I need to come in because that is so wild to me, because I don't even think in my mind I know what the original boots looked like. If I'm honest.
And it's crazy to see the jump in that change of like where it really went from leather boots to the ideas of what they should do with plastic boots and what worked and what didn't.
Oh my gosh.
And the boots that no longer exist. And you know,
I remember my boots early days, and I was like, I would cry taking them off. And now I'm like, I'd rather wear my boots than like high heels. So we good.
Well, there we go. And that's a fun thing too. We have a video that's 100 years of ski fashion from 1915 to 2015. And it's fashion, but if you pay attention, they're holding gear throughout it, and you can see the progression of gear as well throughout that time.
Interesting. See, that's so cool. Awesome. Okay, so Ashley, give us the days that you guys are open and the hours.
We're open every day.
Okay.
The only time is Christmas Day or random things. We'll always post that. Right now, we are open 11 to 6 through the end of the month. We do that because it's not busy and we want to ski before work. So
100%.
we changed it to 11 from 10.
Honest. Yes.
But then starting beginning of February again, it'll be 10 to 6. So for sure, 11 to 6 every day. And then we'll jump back to 10 once it's
and
peak
something
again.
I personally want to do that I haven't gotten to yet. The yoga, is that going to be back?
I'm looking for instructors.
Okay, cool. Right.
I'm looking for instructors that can commit, so I can say it's this day of the week,
cool.
every week.
Awesome.
So that we can get that rolling again.
Okay.
We do have our history walking tours though.
Good.
And that's Vail specific history, and that walks around the village every Tuesday and Thursday at 11.
Okay. So Ashley, to wrap this up, I want you to give us another little tidbit of info about.
Oh man.
You can repeat if you want.
Well, what have I told you? What have I not?
I know.
I mean, the clock tower is iconic, right?
Okay, so you haven't
So the
talked
clock
about that.
tower was a little controversial because back then that's when it was still like Highway 6, all the things, and they thought it would block the view. And they legend has it they we're doing it anyway and did a lot of construction overnight. And then it actually became the way people knew where to turn off for Vail. And now I think it is still one of the most photographed pieces of architecture in Vail.
See, I never knew that. I am so impressed by this. I'm like, that's amazing. I would have never known that.
You don't. You just walk on by.
That's so cool.
Go on the tour. The tour. There's Ron and Jen and Mary Jo, all the people that do the tours. They can tell you so much more. You'll be like, what?
This
I
is
had
like
no
OG,
idea.
the old school people of Vail, like the ones that came and they know everything. I'm always so inspired by all the people that work with you guys. Like, you're amazing.
Yeah, we just got Scooter. She's a volunteer. She's been here for like 50 years.
See?
She's a docent that'll come in. So sometimes on weekends we have docents that can show you around the museum as well.
Oh, I love it. And everyone can go to the website as well.
Snowsportsmuseum.org.
And I will give you all the info. If not, just find Ashley and she'll give you all the information. She knows everything.
Yeah, just come on by. We're right right under the Welcome Center in Vail Village.
Awesome. Well, Ashley, we appreciate you. We love seeing you here, and we will be coming in soon to the Snow Sport Museum. I love it. I'm excited. And keep it right here. We have more of the show to come.